Here we go. Let's get into it. Woo! Oh yeah! All right, so we got the car jacked up, got her on some ramp stands. So the plan is to try to fix this thing. I hate this. This is killing me. This is dreadful having to go through this again. Well, because I didn't put those rod bearings in the beginning. I should have just, did the right thing on the get-go. But anywho, so yeah, we got the car jacked up. I'm actually going to attempt to drop the oil pan and hopefully just change the one rod bearing if that's what it is indeed. And that's what I'm hoping it is. But the backup plan is, originally, before I even started the build, I went to the pick and pull and I pulled this L67 block out of a supercharged Park Avenue. So right now I got it hooked to the hoist. I'm about to throw it up on the stand there, and yeah, we're gonna check her out, clean her up, and yeah, that's plan 2. But part of plan 1 is just to get it going good enough. Hopefully we can just change that one rod bearing just so we can finish up the tuning process, if that's the case. And I'm hoping that's what I can do. Get that one bearing in there. I'm praying for that, just to be one bearing. But yeah, right now, so I got to get that flywheel off the back, and then so we can continue on getting in the stand, and then we're going to pull the engine hoist over this way to get the engine up. We're going to have to take some stuff apart under the hood over there to jack the engine up a couple inches. May even have to drop the frame down a little bit. Got that engine on the engine stand. Ooh yeah. So we got the engine hoist pushed over to the car over here. I actually dropped the oil on it. I let it sit for like quite a bit. So I wanted all the whatever in there, particles, to drop down to the bottom. And yeah, this looks like black metallic paint is what it looks like. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, but yeah, metallic-y. And even if I, let's see, you get a nice finger full there, you can see it all built up on my finger. And then I don't know if you can see the metallic in it, but yeah, it is a lot. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to dump that pan oil in the bucket there and see if there's any chunks or big shavings or whatnot. But yeah, we got the engine on the engine stand. She's a bit mucky in the top end. If I remember correctly, there was only like 130,000 on this engine because there was an oil change sticker on the windshield that I pulled off, and it said 130,000 was the next oil change on it. So I'm thinking that's all it got on it. Ain't too much. It's not a lot, but it's not a little. Actually, I made a video about pulling this out, actually with my wife. So if y'all want to check that out, wherever the links come from up on the top, y'all can check that out if you'd like. It was a fun video. But yeah, I'll dump this pan into the bucket there, and we'll see what's on the bottom of it. Maybe we get some gold. Definitely gonna get some silver. All right, well, yeah, we got some silver, all right. Yeah, there's some specks. I don't know if you can see them right there. Let's see if I can prop this up. It's hard to see, but yeah, you can see a couple. Those two right there. It's very fine shavings, nothing big, so maybe it'll be all right, just maybe. Yeah, figured I'd do this first because of the dreadfulness of getting under there. See what the inside of this looks like. Oh, one more left. Look at that. Dopey me. Well, it's the inside of the oil pan. It looks like the inside of an engine. Oh yeah, but that screen looks clean. It's a good thing. And originally I wanted to use the L67 for the build, but I kept getting mixed information if this crank assembly on here had to be rebalanced or not. But I think it came down to, as long as I use my harmonic balancer, the crank pulley, and my flywheel, it's externally balanced by those two. So I'm pretty sure it should be alright just by putting them on there. But if I'm wrong, please somebody let me know. Alright, I was wrong. This pickup screen doesn't look good. I got there on an angle down like this, and I seen a little crud on the inside. I took this little pick here and I spun it around, and geez, look at all this crud in here. It's a lot. So when I pulled this little pan off, the oil pan, that was in the inside, and look at that. Figured I'd check in here, see if I seen any metal shavings, and there's these big pieces of crud in here. Look at this one. I don't get people. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is caused by not changing your oil. Like, is it that hard to change your oil every 3,000 miles? I mean, I'm a cheap bastard, but I ain't that cheap. Take care of my damn engine. Yeah, I was reading through the comments on the last one, and I think two of you guys, or a few of you guys, were saying about the rods in the L36 engine are, you know, they're weaker or whatever, and they're saying that the ends here will ovalize over time where the bearings sit in there. So with this engine, this is the L67, they're supposed to have stronger rods here, so hopefully these hold up a lot better. And yeah, I want to go ahead and change the rod bearings and the crank bearings, I think, on here. I was looking on Rock Auto, I can actually get a whole new crank and the bearings for the crank and the rods. I think it was 178 bucks, but I don't know if I want to go the route of getting an aftermarket crank for this thing. Maybe I'll just stick with this one. Somebody suggested I think to measure the bore in each rod to make sure it isn't ovalized. I guess I can do that in the shaft, just to make sure everything's at spec or whatever. And you also check to see if it needs to be polished too. This way they spin nice and freely. Jeez, see, this is all new stuff to me. I've never done any of this before. I mean, I've changed rod bearings before on my pickup truck, but that was about as far as it went. But I think this block should suit me well because this was actually built to hold 7 PSI. I think these run at of boost. So I'm only running 7 right now at the moment off the gates, and my plan is only to get it up to about 10 or 11. So I think this block with these rods in here should work out perfect. They should hold up good. All right, now it's time to have some fun. It's the fun stuff time. All right, so yeah, I was looking at it. I was under the car. I was under there dropping the oil and whatnot. I was trying to see what I had to do just to get this thing jacked up a bit. Like I was saying, I think I have to drop the frame down just a tad bit. Loosen the bolts maybe and let them drop like an inch. But yeah, we definitely have to take this off. And then underneath, I got to take off the starter, the little plate on the transmission, and we got to pull out the motor mount bolts. And I think I have to unhook the transmission cross member. And I think I should be good to just jack it up after that. I mean, maybe there might be another thing or two under there I might have to pull, but everything else is flexible. Like, I think I can leave my intercooler piping hooked up because I got so many damn couplers on here, so it should be flexible where it'll come up about an inch or 2 or 3. Even my coolant hoses, they got some slack in them, so I think they'll be fine too. Stretching them a little bit. But, I'm just going to jack it up little by little, inch by inch, half inch, quarter inch, and then check everything out, make sure everything's clearing. As long as everything's going to clear, then I'll proceed. If not, I'll have to, maybe take some other stuff apart. But I'm going to try to do the minimal as I can to take off. Because, I'm not trying to get too into this. I mean, if that's the case, I might as well just pull the whole damn engine out then. But, hopefully, come on, y'all, cross your fingers. Just let it be a rod bearing, and we can continue on. Man, it's starting to feel like Florida around here. Jeez. Go over to my wife's donor car. We're gonna get us some seat belts. Oh yeah. This is what we're gonna hook to the engine to hoist her up. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Holy shoot! It only took a second for that to happen. Oh. Yeah, I'm sick of this Florida weather here in North Carolina. So, well, I'm gonna go change. It's cold down here. I got the AC going. Hey, look at that. 10 minutes later, stopped raining. Should have just waited. So I just took my cone filters off and I went to spin my turbos. And yeah, they're all bound up from all that muck, I guess. The shavings from the rod got into the turbos and they're bound up. They're barely spinning. I don't know what to make of all this. I don't know what y'all think. I'm kind of happy I bought these cheap eBay turbos. Imagine if I bought freaking $1,500 turbos each or something like that. This would be horrible. Well, at least I'm only out, if the turbos are messed up, I'm only out $240. So that ain't too bad. But yeah, hopefully I can clean that crap out. Oh, I don't know. Woo-wee, man. Look at that. I popped the return line off of the oil pan. I stuck my finger in it. And yeah, glitter, baby. Glitter. Now, when you use a sandwich plate, and is that unfiltered oil or filtered oil? Because I'm using a sandwich plate. I don't know how the filter system works. If it goes through the middle of the filter and then filters outward, or does it go from the outside of the filter and filter inward? I'm not really sure. If that is the case, then that means unfiltered oil goes into the turbos by using the sandwich plate. I don't know. I'm gonna try to figure it out, but maybe one of y'all can tell me. Alright, so I figured it out. Using a sandwich plate on this engine, you get unfiltered oil going through your turbos. Here I got the, this is my original timing cover. I ended up swapping it out. I took the one off of that one, put it on the L36, and yeah, I got the this is the L36 one, so I got the L67 timing cover on the L36. But so it seems the oil gets sucked up through the screen here, and then it comes out this hole, which on the cover here goes through there, into here, through the pump, and then back out the bottom hole. And then if you look at the oil filter housing piece here, that's the bottom hole right on this side. So you can clearly see here on the housing, it goes through and comes out the side, which is right here. So that's unfiltered oil coming through into the sandwich plate that I have on here being pumped out. And then yeah, it goes through the filter back through and comes back up this passage, I guess, where it goes through the valve train, which comes in through here and then comes out here. That goes into the upper part of the engine, the valves and yeah, the rockers and all that, camshaft, this crankshaft, and there's the oil pressure sensor right here. So yeah, I gotta hook up my oil feed lines to right here on my oil filter housing, so I get filtered oil going through my turbos instead of using that sandwich plate and getting unfiltered oil. Probably could have saved my turbos from getting dosed with all this particles, if so. That sucks. But I don't know, I'm gonna try to clean those turbos out. I think I'm gonna take them off, fabricate a little brace, what is that, a T3 bracket to go on the back, and then hook my wet dry vac up in blow mode to spin the damn turbine, and then try to pump oil through the feed and try to push all that crap out of there, and hopefully, yeah, because it's all really fine, you know, it's just little muck, it's mucky fine shit, so it should be fine, I think. I don't know, hopefully that works. I'm gonna try it though. Either way, if the turbos are fucked from this or the engine's fucked from it, I mean, it's all fucked anyway, so I might as well try to swap the bearing out, put it all back together, and then see what happens. I mean, worst case scenario, yeah, I messed my engine up, and I got another block sitting here, so I'm good. And I screwed up, you know, $100 turbos, so it ain't that bad. Not that bad, I guess, but it just sucks. I'm back to this point again. But you know what? At least the whole car is finished. It's just a matter of replacing some stuff now. I don't have to fabricate or build anything. It's just getting it right. Oh, Did I go too hard? Did I over rev the car? Because I got the car up to like 6,200 RPM, you know, 55, 58. You know, I don't know if that's high revving for this car. You know, I could have spun the bearing out and messed it up because I over revved it. Again, the duty cycle on the injector's maxed out, so when I had it up at the high rev, you know, even though the air fuel ratio was showing good, you know, down by the turbos after the exhaust comes out of the turbos, you know, maybe it wasn't pushing the right amount into the cylinder right at that moment. I mean, I don't know the math and the damn science to it all, but all I know is my damn engine's fucked. So I found on a website, once you spin a bearing and it shoots all these metal particles and fragments through your turbo, especially with me because I was using that sandwich plate down there and it was unfiltered, pretty much sandblast the journal bearing in there and messes it up, and then eventually, I guess, you know, if they start rubbing, it could sand it apart and then you'll get shaft play, and then potentially my compressor wheel in there can touch the housing and then break it down and then shoot aluminum pieces all through my intercooler, and I don't really want to mess up my intercooler now over this. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get new turbos. And I was thinking about, hey, maybe I could just get these rebuilt, but I found to get this rebuilt it would cost probably like $300, and I only spent $120 on this turbo, so it makes no sense in even trying to get these rebuilt. So I'm probably just gonna go grab me some new eBay turbos, and we're just gonna do that. Alright, but one good thing, I guess, because these are actually a 60.63 AR, and I found if I go with a small AR, I've seen some .48 ARs on there, I'll get quicker spool time. You know, hopefully right now it's spooling up, starting to, I guess, or going into boost at like 4K. So maybe I can get it down to 3,500 or 3K if I go down to a small AR. So that's a good thing. Getting to boost a little earlier. She's almost there. So yeah, we got that engine hoist hooked up. We got the engine jacked up. You see there? I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, only got about an inch worth of room left to go up. But yeah, we ended up taking off the intercooler piping down there on each side. Popped that out the coupler. Had to pull the exhaust off. Undid the one brake line here for the two front brakes. And yeah, and then we pulled the starter out. But yeah, this oil pan's hanging in here. I just got to take the screen off. There you can see it. I can move it all around, but the screen's holding it in. Get it out. So I got to pop that one nut off the screen, and then we'll be able to drop her down. Then we can see what's going on in there. I'm hoping that sucker's a 10. And she looks like an 8. Yeah, she's an 8. I gotta crawl back out of here. You ever walk on your shoulder blades? That's how you gotta do it for this job. Alright, got her off. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I wonder if it was a rod or a crank bearing. Hopefully it ain't the crank bearing. It's just these rod bearings. I'm gonna change them all, put them all back in, and we'll be back on the road before you know it. Alright, I found it. It's this front one here. It's the first one. Look at that. It's wobbling back and forth. Not this way, but up and down. See, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Figuring all this out as I go along. But hell yeah. It's just the one. I'm going to crank this thing around. We're going to pop that cap off and see what it looks like. Hopefully it's just the rod that's the bearing that's messed up. Hopefully it didn't mess up the shaft and the bore of the damn rod itself. Hell, I could have got a couple more pulls with that. Yeah, I tell you, it makes a hell of a knock for that little bit of wobble when you're driving. When the car's running anyway. There we go. We have to make some space. All Alright, let's see what this sucker looks like. Alright, I gotta make sure that I don't mix up which way this thing faces. I'm pretty sure you gotta put these back on one way. So there's a number here. It's at 3.5. So it's a 3.5 there. The cat 1 to the front. 3.5 goes to the front. All right. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, she's roughed. She's roughed all right. Oh yeah, she's fucked. That is fucked, that crank. Yeah, if I put a new rod bearing on here, it's just gonna chew it right back up again. 3.5 to the front. Well, that sucks. One damn bearing ruined the fun. What a shit show. But that's it for this one, y'all. Peace and love. Keep it real. And we'll see you on the next one.